need a couple more chairs.
Oh, do you need? I've never seen it like that.
They're coming. More chairs are coming.
Okay, we'll do a test. Ed, can you read this loud and clear?
I can.
We can hear you. Thank you. So I am going to call the meeting back to order for the public session. And we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, I am now opening public comment at 6:06. Where did Patty go? Anyway, Patty, oh, there you are. Do we have any public comment? Does anybody have any public comment here before we get rolling? Public comment will stay open. So if anybody has a comment or question, just raise your hand. So I'm pleased to report Interlakes has had some pretty good press lately for some of our student achievements. And we have the Future Business Leaders of America Nationals qualifiers and the Hewitt Career and Technical Center National Honor Society. We'd like to present them. We're going to do which first?
FBLA.
FBLA.
And Mrs. Sullivan, would you be willing to help us? Because I know not everybody's here. Do you want to maybe share who it was? We've got them here. Do you want to, I think you can come up this way. There we go. So I think Pia Wright's not here, but she did personal financial management.
Yeah, so she placed as champion, so top of the field for personal financial management.
Is Aiden Price here? I think I see Aiden.
Yep.
Come on down, Aiden. And Aiden, you want to tell us your achievement?
Yeah, so I was the champion of Securities and Investments Objective Test.
Whoa,
Nice.
Yes.
very nice.
What do you
Congratulations.
think of the stock market right now?
It's starting to recover. It's coming back. It'll make its way back.
Is Chris
Boxansky.
We need help, Chris.
Yeah, Boxansky.
Great. Congratulations. Congratulations. Tell us what you won.
Oh, we got first in the financial statement analysis.
Woohoo!
And he is one of our three-peat students. This is his third time qualifying for nationals.
And
It's
Aiden,
pretty
did you
impressive.
just, New Hampshire, was it NHIA? Did you?
Yeah, the New Hampshire.
That's David.
Okay, congratulations.
that's
Well
great.
done. What an accomplished group. Caleb Spears, I don't think Caleb.
Caleb is not here.
Okay. Caleb got,
He took fourth place in impromptu speaking,
ooh,
which is a tough category.
that's a very tough category. Future politicians.
Yeah.
And then there's always a rotten apple in the tub, Caleb Terrio. I say that in jest, I think I. What'd you do, Caleb?
I did coding and programming. It was a
Awesome
presentation.
done.
Good job, Caleb.
Well done. Tyler Coleman.
Tyler Coleman. TC.
I did financial statement analysis with Chris and Hayden.
Congratulations.
You want to be a CPA someday?
Maybe.
Yeah. Hayden Burnell.
He is not here. He's actually sick, but he placed with Chris and Tyler on the financial statement analysis.
Well done.
Danielle Corneliuson.
Woohoo.
Hello, Danielle. Congratulations. What did you do?
Leah, Maya, and I placed third place for our sales presentation.
Good.
Love that.
Alright.
Good.
Another very competitive category.
Good sales is important. So, Leah Meakin. Another salesperson.
Careful. Chair Hansen might try to protect you.
And last but not least, is it Maya?
Mm-hmm.
Maya Lebrecq.
Oh, in sales.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
Best of luck.
So nationals is when?
Nationals is June 29th to July 3rd.
And in Florida, right?
No, this
Nope.
year it is in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, we like to bring it to the heat.
Yes, they like to move it around on us and hot so far because it was Anaheim last year, Orlando the year before, and San Antonio this year.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations to everybody.
Yeah, nice job.
Alan, would you like to come up so you can help us honor?
The National Honor Society.
Maybe talk a little bit about the
Yeah.
National Honor Society for the Hewitt?
Sure. Yeah, so we had 3 students this year to get inducted into the Hewitt National Honor Society, which is huge recognition and accomplishment. 2 of them couldn't make it tonight, which I'll talk a little bit about them, but Hannah Nesbitt is here with Mom, and she's done the culinary program for 2 years. I actually had the pleasure last week of having her and her crew cook for me at a regional breakfast, which is always a highlight. Their food is always really good. And she shared with me that next year she's going to be going to Liberty University for accounting.
Wow,
So-
wonderful.
Yeah.
Hannah also sang the Star Spangled Banner
Oh,
at
that's right.
the annual meeting. Did a beautiful job.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. Good job.
Congratulations,
Multi-talented.
yeah.
And just for the record, we also have, along with Hannah,
Is it Aiden or Jenna?
Aiden
Yeah.
Lentime.
Yeah, so Aiden couldn't make it tonight, but he did the plumbing and heating program for a couple of years. Wants to get into that field after he graduates, so he's been a real leader in that program. And our other student was Jenna Spiegler, who does the teacher prep program, and I joke with her because she wants to be a school counselor once she graduates. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so very proud of all. 3 of them.
Congratulations, that's great.
I can take these
Please
stories.
administer those.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Great,
You're
thank you very much. Thank you all for your achievements. It is
And you
great
don't
to
feel
see.
like you have to stay.
Mr. Terrio, please enlighten us with what's been going on within the schools.
All right. Last night in the auditorium, we had the spring concert. The band, chorus, and jazz band all performed. And Miss Einan gave out some music awards to some 8th graders, some juniors, and some seniors to honor them for everything they've done for the band over the last few years. The Lakerbots competed at the UNH district event a few weeks ago. We ended up 3rd overall and won the quality award. Tomorrow we'll be heading down to Springfield, Mass for the district championship, hopefully earning points and qualifying for the world championship. FBLA brought over 30 students to the State Leadership Conference in March. 10 of them qualified for the national championship, who we recognize tonight. And good luck to all those students who are going to attend. The juniors took the SAT on April 11th and will be taking the NH SAS test on the 21st. There was a goal set for practice hours, and I don't think it was fully met, but there was a lot of progress made towards meeting the goal. Spring sports are in full swing. Baseball, softball, lacrosse, and track have all had games or meets and are doing well. There were 15 new students inducted into NHS recently at the NHS induction ceremony. So I believe there were 13 juniors and 2 seniors who got inducted.
And NHS is National Honor Society.
National Honor Society.
Thank you.
Students are working to prepare for the AP exams in May in all their classes. We have students in, I don't know how many different AP classes, but there's a lot of them. And then last week on April 8th, Interlakes hosted the community night. Several community members, board members, students, and school faculty gathered to hear from everybody and spotlight a few programs, including Unified and Winnie Dip, along with the SRSD writing work. And there was also time to provide feedback about the strategic plan draft. The portrait of a graduate was also unveiled by Cooper Wozniak and Caleb Spears, and they spoke about student participation and the creation of that portrait and its graphic. And then on April 9th and 10th, Interlakes Theater Collaborative performed drama for Dionysus. The staff and students did a wonderful job performing the play. And that was written by the Halperns, who run the Powerhouse Theater Company. So congratulations to Courtney Palmer, the Interlake staff, and the theater gang for a well-done show.
It was really exciting to play. It was, they did a phenomenal job. A lot of lines, and it was funny, and it was definitely a staff-student effort. The staff were the gods, and the students were doing plays for the gods, and it was really funny. It was well done.
Thank you, Mr. Terrio.
Oh,
As
sorry.
always, you give a very thorough update. Oh, Abe, please.
I just had a question for Caleb. What's the quality award that was given at?
So we won the quality award for like machine robustness and the process that we designed the robot in.
Got it.
So we talked about iteration and improvement of our designs. We talked about how we do like stress testing in CAD when we develop the robot before we build it, and just overall performance and like staying consistent on the field during an event.
It's pretty cool. Great, thanks.
Good question. All right. Next up, we have the minutes from the March 4th annual school district meeting.
These are still draft minutes. They're really for your information. You do not need to take action on them. The school clerk actually signs off, but
Yeah.
just so you know, we, it was a lot to try to do the minutes. It was a longer meeting than normal. So they are still in a draft form, and we will get them to the school clerk to finalize.
We have the March 17th meeting. Oh, sorry, Ed, go ahead.
Acknowledging everything that Mary just said, I've saved us a little bit of effort here as we talk about Article 7 in the minutes. It states the motion to amend Article 5 failed by, so it needs to be motion to amend Article 7 failed. So not realizing that we weren't going to go through this and thinking that we were going to take a vote to amend. I went through them, but that's what I found there.
I see them still as draft. In terms of proofing, so the school clerk will proof them as well. I don't think she's had that opportunity, so I don't think you have to amend them yet. I think they're not finalized.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the board doesn't typically vote on them. It's the school clerk who has to actually sign them.
Okay.
Thank you for that clarification, Mary. Next up, we have the minutes of the March 17th meeting, which was our first regular meeting after the district meeting. We entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded, any comments or discussion? Any edits? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Nancy, did you abstain? Or did you?
No,
You were a yes?
That
Okay,
was a yes, yeah.
thank you.
I didn't raise my hand far
We
enough
are
in
now
time.
up to the current bills payable. This is Dahl.
Thank you. Starting on page 63 is manifest 3019, and I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has any.
Any questions for Ashley?
Ashley, reference check number 116479. It's a very small amount. Body covers, fleece blankets. I mean, it just caught me as odd. It's $202, so not a massive amount.
Last night and the
Yeah,
senior
yeah.
blankets.
It's a
And
senior
they were presentation gifts for the band members last night. They were an award.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other night, I don't think any of us could have answered that, but those of us who were at the concert last night saw the fleece blankets being given out, so.
Okay. I just thought it was odd that,
Yeah.
there we go. And then my second question, check number 116530. on the second page to Oak Security Group for door and key system equipment and installation, almost
Where?
28K. Like, did we change something out pretty significant there? Or?
Yes, so we at the middle high school have started a lock and key project. It's all doors in the building except for classrooms currently. So we're working towards that, but it's a change of the whole system.
Okay.
It's a safety improvement, right? Part of the
Yes.
safety
Yep.
process.
Other questions? Did I do a motion? Did I get a motion yet?
No,
I
sorry,
will-
you have not, but I will make a motion to accept these payments.
Second,
Yes.
seconded by Nancy. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
They carry. Reports, enrollment report.
So page 67, from last month, we are up 4 students. And just the charts on the bottom are, we have 22 students currently homeschooling that we know of, because people can apply for homeschooling directly to the commissioner. So, but we are aware of 22. 13 students who are here in Interlakes because of the teacher agreement. We do have 11 students currently enrolled at Moulton Borough through our MOU. And education freedom accounts, we started putting this here. The March 2025, they do it like, they have I think it's 4 times a year they publish that I'm able to see. So we have 33 students overall that are in our district receiving EFAs. That might be some overlap with homeschool potentially, but it does give you some information.
Mary, 11 seems unusual. Is
Yeah,
that just sort of a quirk of?
some of
Small
it is
numbers?
related to also their staff, they have opportunities for their staff to go
I
to
see.
Moulton Borough as well. So I think what we can put on in the future is how many Moulton Borough students we have here. So
Okay.
I think I can
And
add.
when they're in Moulton Borough, are they there full time?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And that's based off that, well, it says MOU right there, Ed, so I should just read it a little bit closer.
And then on the back side, on page 68, you just have the breakdown at the elementary level, just so you can see the distribution of students by elementary classrooms. And, where average class size is about 16 between the 2 schools.
Other questions for the superintendent? All right, staffing update.
So we are still in need of about 5 paraeducator positions. We have hired some contracted services, so although there's 5 openings, we have brought in some help to assist with that gap of staffing. But we are actively continuing to look for 5 paraeducators. Hopefully, we can fill some of those. We would be in a better position for next year. And paraeducator contracts will probably go out in May, so then we'll have a sense of what we have for openings for the following school year. And the speech language pathologist continues to be one that we have had no traction on. We were advertising for next year. We have not received any applicants. So the reality is that is becoming more of a position or a need that you fill through contracted service. It's just the market and the number of speech pathologists for the number of need there's a disconnect.
Great. Thank you. Any other questions for the superintendent? Hearing none, year-to-date financial report.
Thank you. On page 70 of your packet is the year-to-date financial report. Not a lot of movement from last month. We still have a little over $1 million available, just under 3%. Looking forward to bringing you a better idea of where we are in May. But I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has.
And not that we have to delve into it tonight, but
Sure.
if there are any decisions about fund balance, that would ultimately be made at the June meeting.
June, correct.
But we will start to talk about them in May.
Next month, yes.
We do have later on in the agenda, just as a reminder of things that we proposed during the budget process.
Yep.
And that will be a list that we'll refine further for next month as we start to get closer.
Great. Other questions for Ashley? And then everybody's favorite topic, an audit.
So just to remind the board that the auditor will be coming to the May SAU board meeting, and we'll talk to the SAU board as a whole, the Interlakes and Ashland school districts, just so that gives the boards a chance to speak directly to the auditor. I think it's really important to acknowledge that there are no findings with the audit. This is the 23-24 school year audit. There is a suggestion of doing how we might organize student activity accounts a little differently, but again, no findings. And then one that I think is a conversation at the SAU level, succession planning. The reality is, when you're a small organization, it is difficult to have redundancy built in. But I think that is a conversation at the SAU level. But I think it is really important to commend Mrs. Dolliff and to commend the whole business office. Multi-million dollars are run through that office and are accounted for. And to have no findings is certainly takes a lot of effort and a lot of diligence. We are on track for the 24-25 school years audit to be completed for June 30th.
Oh, good.
Of this year. So then we will be back on track.
Yes, thank you.
Any other questions regarding the audit?
The last paragraph on the first page states that there were some challenges providing information in a timely fashion. Were those systemic? What's going on there?
We had a leave during the process, a maternity leave, which did present, a challenge in terms of being able to keep up with the level of responsibilities and so forth to be able to get stuff turned around as quickly to the auditor as we normally would have. We normally are, it's one, the year behind is what you're working on. And so this certainly was a joyous thing, but certainly a challenge. And in addition to that, we have had changeover in schools in terms of the offices. So some of that takes time to train them on components. And when we're training, we're not able to then be pulling stuff for the audit. So it was really, there were two factors that impacted
And
that.
the third, I would say, in our SAU office, we had a complete changeover in staff as well. So I think it just kind of became a perfect storm and we're back on track. So.
Okay, and then speaking about those student activity accounts, Mary, have we already started looking at what controls are to put those in place to alleviate risk?
So Ashley is working on that, is actively working on that.
Okay. When do we think that we'll have some discussion about what those controls will be?
I think, probably for
we
them.
do have controls in place.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah. I think it might be.
Additional controls is what it seems to be saying. So when will we have a discussion about what additional controls need to be put in place?
Certainly bring an update to the May meeting, and then certainly that will provide you an opportunity to discuss that with the auditor.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? All right. Old business, strategic planning, community outreach.
So we had our first evening last Wednesday, I think it was. We had the Meredith outreach. I've included these are the materials we're using for the outreach. The final strategic plan that is presented to you will have timelines and people responsible and so forth. But for the purposes of gaining feedback, this is a format that I think is at least worked well. We had a small group, but an engaged group, and I think it was a successful evening in getting some feedback. And so we look forward to Center Harbor this week, which is on Thursday night, and then the week after, Wednesday night in Sandwich.
This is very similar to how it was done last year.
Yes, this has more detail because we took this information from last year to create goals, and so so I would say it's actually different than last year. I think it's
Any other questions on strategic planning?
Mary, is the planning horizon still 25 to 31, or are we looking at moving the implementation, or if the plan is to affect some future time to 32 or 33 or whatever?
so 2026 through 2031.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Health insurance study update.
So it is in process. Last week, we had an opportunity, the hub, which is helping to facilitate the opportunity to look at different options for health insurance, had done a pretty comprehensive video in advance of our meeting to kind of go review what we have looked at, which is health trusts, school care, and self-funded as options. It was a very comprehensive overview, as well as what might be some things that could look if you changed your driver health insurance plan, how that might impact some costs. The consensus of the group was, even though the video had been provided, to still take advantage of the fact of having the two consultants with us to go through it again, which I think was really healthy. And so we have set up a meeting for next week where the groups, we will mix, because we have multi-bargaining groups in the room. And so and it's important, health insurance is a bargaining part of contracts. But we are hoping that the committee can make some recommendations, and to help facilitate that, we're going to break into diverse groups, so it's not as though it's one bargaining unit having an opinion.
Nonpartisan
There
groups.
you go. And we'll be asked some questions about to help hopefully get us to the point of, are we ready to make some recommendations? And in the interim, Ashley and I are having at least conversations with two organizations about self-funded. That is information we can bring back to the group. We had one call today, and I think we're working on setting up another one. So it's in process. I think it's a healthy process. It is complex. Health insurance is very complex. And it's really different levels of risk that you're willing to take as an organization, and what the comfort level is with that. So we hope for May to have more information to share with you.
Questions on health insurance? Hearing none. Funding Lakerbots World Championship registration. Mrs. Moriarty and Mrs. Dahl.
So we are very, so first of all, to remind the board, page 135 is a policy that you put in place in order to support organizations, co-curriculars, and that might have opportunities to go to such events as the Worlds. You actually encumbered $25,000. My memory had been 20, I think, when I recently shared that, but it's $25,000 that the board did encumber that you have available to provide support. And one of the requirements has certainly been that organizations do some work ahead of time. And I think the Lakerbots are absolutely like the model of what everyone is looking to achieve. And so they are requesting, and they'll know after this weekend, right, if they have the opportunity ahead of them, but they would like $5,750 to support registration to go to Houston. And I certainly can turn it over to Caleb or Mr. Derek. They've done a great job.
I'll just share.
Do I stand a certain place?
Sure, you can just stand right there.
Well, so thank you for hearing our request. We really appreciate it. The team, the mentors and the students have done a tremendous job this year in terms of their competitive performance, but also in terms of their community outreach and support in developing STEAM throughout the community. In addition to that, they've done a tremendous job fundraising, both through grant writing and through personal requests to different businesses throughout the community. The current plan is for the funds that they have fundraised to cover a large majority of the travel expenses for the Worlds. And I believe I attached a rough budget outlining those costs. And we really appreciate the school district being able to support the registration fees for the event.
Great, thanks, Joe. Questions, board members?
I would just make a motion to accept this, to fund this at the request of level.
Is there a second? Seconded by Nancy. Other discussion on this request?
My understanding. Sorry, go ahead.
I would just, Caleb, you didn't mention in the, what's going on in the district. This past weekend, there was a community outreach event at the, it was great, and lots of people came to this facility at the Tilton Outlet Malls that the Laker Bots used as a practice facility, and there were people from
There were 5 teams.
five teams from other school communities, and people off the street, and people, parents and grandparents, and it was inspiring for a lot of people who came. So that's another fun thing, and your community outreach is significant. I think that that's really of note.
I would agree. Go ahead, Ed.
So it's my understanding that this is a contingency request. Like, should the team qualify for Worlds? Do I read that correctly? So we're not actually committing funds until the team makes it.
Correct.
I will say that they will make it. You know, I'm not gonna there is no if, there's only will. Okay.
And that time frame is very short.
So right. So you have to, if you qualify, you have to then quickly turn around and say, we're going to go, here's our registration fee. Okay.
Affirmative.
Okay. Yep. Got it. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, was it last year or 2 years ago? We looked at a similar request, and we had a significant discussion about, hey, these organizations have to really go out and do some work on their own rather than just coming to the board. And that got kind of sticky and a little bit emotional back then. I would point out that of the 34,000, we're talking about 6. So what is it? 20% maybe? A little bit less than that. I don't know. Finger math is not my strong suit, but applause to the Laker Bots for going out and taking that advice from a year ago or 2 years ago to heart and really getting after, preparing, looking ahead for doing the work to have the money in the bank ready to go when they qualify.
Well said, Ed. I would agree with you. It makes it pretty easy to fund a request like this when they've worked so hard to do it on their own. So thanks, Joe and team. You too, Caleb. But we need to vote. Any other last minute comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Unanimously approved. So you,
Check out.
Thanks for coming.
so you heard from the Colonel.
Yes. It's a when, not a if.
Right,
Yes.
no if.
Gotcha.
Just gonna happen.
That sounds good.
I think Ed has something to say.
Go ahead, Ed.
No, I'm just saying when.
Okay.
They said thank you, Ed.
You're quite welcome.
Funding Destination Imagination registration.
So we had a team qualify, so they have qualified for the rules. for Destination Imagination. This is the middle high team. They have been working on fundraising throughout the year. They're not in the same financial position as Lakerbots. They are requesting that the board consider paying for registration. And they will be trying to, I think it's like another 11,000 or so they'll have to, additional funds they'll have to gain. They did ask, and I indicated I didn't think the board would be receptive to more than the registration costs, but I do want to put that out there that they are asking if there was more that you would contribute. They'd certainly be appreciative of that.
But the ask is for the registration.
Yes, minimally.
I make a motion that we approve paying for the registration for the team.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Comments and discussion?
Mary, do you have, I don't know if I didn't download it, so maybe I screwed up. What is the total budget for first? Has DI qualified for whatever, for this, this for globals?
They have qualified, and I think it's probably between 16 and 18,000 to go, including registration, is what I think I understand.
And how much is the registration?
It's the 5,500, yeah.
Okay.
What
So
is,
they still organize hotels and travel and so forth.
what is the total bill for the trip, or have they not figured that out?
I think they're still getting costs on that, but it's about probably between 16 and 18,000, including registration, I believe.
Okay, so but that doesn't, like, I would figure it'd be closer to the 34 or whatever, like the Laker bots, if we're talking about travel plus hotels plus registration, so on and so forth.
Length might be different. And I also know the Lakerbots needs to bring the robots, so there's an expense there. But what they're asking for right now is the registration fee.
Go ahead,
I
Nancy.
just want to say that it's important, I think, for us to stick to the registration. That's what we allocated this $25,000 for. And yeah, I think it's important that we stick to that.
Thank you. Abe and then Duncan.
If we pay the registration and they're not able to fund the rest of the trip, what happens in that
I
situation?
think we will get a portion of the registration fee back. I don't think it's 100%.
I no longer need to ask the question. That was what I was gonna ask.
Okay. Ed, do you have a question or are you just in thought?
Just scratching my head.
Okay. All right, well, we're gonna vote then. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We've approved the request for Destination Imagination
And I will-
registration.
We'll just put out there, they have not requested, but it is possible that FBLA, because they have that national opportunity, may come forward with some request as well.
But that 25,000 is inclusive of multiple organizations, and each of these asks is within the framework where other organizations will have access to money as well.
What is the balance of that sort of money that's set aside?
25,000.
Oh,
Minus-
that's- yeah,
Minus
We allocate.
Well,
5,750
Right,
plus
just
5,500.
Okay. And that's for the school year?
It's encumbered, so it is ongoing funds.
Okay.
Anything else? We're gonna move on to nominations. That's for the two positions, correct?
Yes, 2 positions at Sandwich Central School as presented.
So moved by Duncan, seconded by Nancy. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Then the general assurances, Mrs. Moriarty.
So you have starting on page 142, the general assurances. These are connected to our entitlement grants. So it's our commitment that we're following the regulations as established by the federal government for the various grants. we work hard to make sure we are implementing them as presented. I will say they are very comprehensive. They involve US code. It's a lot, but we work hard to make sure we're going through them and being attentive to all that is expected. I put it on here as an information item. It was a few years back that the state commissioner for education changed it. It used to be the superintendent signed it, and then it was changed that school board chairs had to sign it. So it changed that they come through the school board to approve the chair signing them ultimately on behalf and the superintendent. So it is a lot, so I don't know if it's something, I put it on as information item because they're due June 1st, so the May meeting would allow us that opportunity. And certainly if there's questions in between, I would ask that you share them with me in advance. I do not have US code memorized. I do have to often look up the same thing about 12 times.
What is the pleasure of the board?
May meeting.
May meeting.
May meeting? Okay. So in the meantime, if anybody has any questions, please send them to Mary directly.
And I'm sorry, I misspoke. They're due July 1st, but we'd like to get them up for June 1st.
So we don't have a meeting in
Yep.
July typically, so. Great. End of year fund balance, information item.
So on page 163, these are the categories that during the budget process we discussed potential use of end of year encumbrances. We certainly need to do some more work and refinement on these with these various departments over the next month between this meeting and your next meeting. We'll continue to, again, re-examine where we are and what our needs are so that we can bring forward some draft ideas for May. One of the things that is not on here that we certainly will be bringing forward is for negative balances for lunches. So that, again, our goal really is to clear negative balances at the end of the year. So we're starting fresh at the beginning.
So that's separate from the 30.
Correct. The 30,000.
The 30 is just operating.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
subsidized
Yes.
operations.
Yes, and we're running about, for negative balances,
About 14,000.
about 14,000, which I would say is
Standard.
fairly on track. Like, I think we were 12 or something last year. We're in the ballpark of where we were. But we continue to try to collect negative balances.
Okay. Any other questions on end of year fund balance?
Mary, I know there was going to be, we talked about sort of a reevaluation of the traffic detail. I was wondering what the timing.
We did that.
Okay.
So I can tell you, we will be requesting that. We did have, we had the police department there. We brought the bus company has a safety person who does like for New England.
Yeah.
Plus the bus manager, and it's just a busy spot. And I think we also have some kids who do cross there. We do bus transportation we would provide, but I think their home is so close that I think it's just a tricky spot. And there are some mornings or afternoons, like if the police department is short, right, that they can't fill. If there's an incident, and you feel it, you notice that traffic difference.
Yeah.
And so we did try.
So the answer is still we need one at both
Both,
ends.
yeah.
And that's reflected in the office of the principal.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So
that's
we
a
would
need.
we would want to put it back.
All right, facility contract, as discussed in non-public, we'll be taking this up at our next meeting. So I'm jumping to policy. First and final reading. Mary, do you want to comment on
So
this?
this actually relates back to federal grants. There was a change in the requirements or law.
Just in the threshold.
The threshold went from 5 to 10. So
Yes, that was it.
we're looking to make that change so we can be in compliance.
All right. Any questions on that?
So, and I don't know, like, do we have to move is that exceeds the lesser of 10,000 or 5,000. Or
So it would be,
$10,000 of the capital. I don't know what a capitalization level is.
can you explain capitalization level?
I guess what I'm getting at is it seems to me we're saying, hey, equipment is now valued at a higher level. And acknowledging, Mary, what you said, that this is to get us in line with whatever the federal standard is. Could we, I don't make our constraints, or could we be more constrained? Could we leave it at 5,000 because that's a higher standard? Or am I misreading that?
You certainly can. You have that authority to become more restrictive.
We just can't be less restrictive than federal law. Do I understand that correctly? I'm sorry if somebody said something that just didn't come through.
You understand it correctly.
Okay. That being the case, why would we, other than that's what federal law allows, why would we not maintain the current standard or level of strictness, or whatever you want to call it?
So this is specific to federal funds. So this is purchasing with federal funds. So it changes the, inventorying, the time.
I think the cost of goods has gone up, so I think that is just reflective of that. I don't have any other.
Does it make more work for us if we leave it as is, or does it help us if it's raised to 10,000?
Quite honestly, we try not to purchase equipment with federal funds. I'll just say that. But yes, I would say it in the sense of having to track these items, yes.
Yeah, we really do try to make sure we are very mindful of what we use our federal dollars on because of the burden it places when you do purchase things. Certainly to the discretion of the board.
So if we don't generally purchase equipment with federal funds, is this kind of a pencil drill? If we don't purchase equipment, that it doesn't increase the amount of time or effort that we have to put into inventorying stuff that we purchase with federal funds because we don't purchase stuff with federal funds?
I think that would be fine. It's really again, we work very hard we're very mindful and thoughtful about how we use federal funds. So very rarely are we buying equipment.
But is there a case where some future iteration of this group would buy something that they would be required to do more work if we don't just pass along this change in the statute?
And it could wait until then. What I would say, if you get to that point, then it might be something to reevaluate. It's really, I don't think it's.
If that's feasible, then that seems like a perfectly good reason to kick this down to not do anything.
I sort of hear you recommending that we don't need to do this.
I don't think, again, we're very hard.
It's federal funds.
Yeah, it was just to bring the policy up to the federal standard. But
it's,
But we can do
you can
that
certainly
later.
be more restrictive.
Okay, let's leave it as it is.
Is everybody good with that? Just leave it as the policy as was? Okay, very good. Next up, we have donations. Lighted Up Lakers donations. We have $15,000 from the Quimby Trust in Sandwich.
And we have received the check, so very grateful to the Quimby.
We have Sandwich Central School, the amount of $222. Mrs. Flanders in the amount of $100. Diane Misha in memory of Kevin Keenan in the amount of $200. Total donations to date, $170,024. Total banner applications, $53,600. So total in donations and banners, $230,498.45. I would entertain a motion to accept these gracious donations. Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Abe. Any other discussion on the donations?
Yeah, Charlie. At the public hearing, you made a motion to include a $25,000 gift from the Keenan family. That does, and you said that would bring total donations to $226,163, which is obviously more than the 181 that is currently listed. So I went back to the minutes from last month as well. Those numbers were a little different. If we use the largest numbers of donations, which is the 226,163 that you amended at the public hearing, and then add what we've got here, all of a sudden we go to total donations and banners is 275,491 for $83,508.79 remaining to either be raised or be raised through taxes. And I bring it up because, I mean, Mr. Jones was very clear that, he thought $5 twice a year would break the bank, but now we're talking about what, $3.50 or whatever. Obviously, I'm being facetious, kind of thing. I just, what is the true and correct numbers? If we already had 226,163, and now we're adding whatever the sum of these are to that.
I think things might be being double counted there. So it's the total banner application. So that's not, it's the running amount we've been having. So the full amount that we have between donations, banners, minus the cost to print the banners, is $230,498.45.
And that includes, Mary, the $25K that the Keenan family donated in memory of Kevin.
Yes.
Were there pledges included in that figure?
So
that we got
originally,
it?
like the pledges, we had some pledges we were running. Quimby was one that we considered as an actual. Other pledges for the annual meeting we took off because they had not been received.
Yeah.
But Quimby has also now cut the check.
So
it's moved from a pledge to a donation.
So specifically, that would have been counted, that 15,000 that we're adding tonight in other numbers was already added.
Correct,
counted
it was
already.
counted,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy, we can certainly bring a full spreadsheet to the next meeting if that's helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. And then we have some other donations. Do you want to say who these are, Mary?
Sure, so we have the Interlakes PTO, $1,000 to be used towards the Scott Lagoon Words and Pictures author event that will take place at ILES on June 10th. So it'll be an event for the students. And then we also have from New Hampshire Snow Pros, the amount of $1,040 to purchase girls lacrosse teams some travel gear.
I would entertain a motion to accept with gratitude.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Questions or comments on these two items? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. Other, I had upcoming in May, the first week in May, is Staff Appreciation Day. And my goal this year was to have a couple board members make it to every school. So we didn't get a whole bunch of board members at one school, but then nobody came to another school, which has happened in the past. So if you could put some thought to that, if you're able to, and sign up for a school, let Sarah know that you're available, and we'll have Sarah keep track of who's going to which school. That way we'll have coverage. You're welcome to go to every school. And how much?
Will you have specific times on the schedule so we know?
Yes,
It is a little fluid.
it is
That's
fluid.
the,
I remember last year I had to leave because.
Yeah, it's hard going from one to the other,
Right,
because
yeah.
there's not perfect times.
Right now, it's tentatively set to start at Sandwich Central School at 8:30.
On which day, Charlie, do you remember?
May 7th.
May 7th, which is a Thursday. Just went through this with Sarah this morning.
I'm not allowed to go to Sandwich.
Okay.
How about the middle high?
That's more for you.
That was that. So I'm checking Patty. Do we have any electronic public seeking input? Does anybody in the room want to make any public comment?
I'm just here to listen and learn.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Well, I was gonna say, in other meetings I've been to, it was, no one comes to the meetings. I thought, well, I learned a lot by going to the board meeting, and the select board meeting, so.
Thank you for coming.
All right, well, I am going to officially close public comment at 7 p.m. Did I say when I opened it? It was 6:08.
6 something.
6:06.
6:06.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we move to close, one more item.
Sure, go ahead, Ed.
Mary, at the public hearing, Mr. Sticht had asked for some data regarding the boilers, the pellet system, and the Honeywell project, and you said you'd follow up with him and with the board. Is that for discussion in May or June?
I would say May or June. It is on, we've started to pull some information, and we do have a meeting actually scheduled, Ashley Dolph, Brian Swanker, and I, for later this week, to be able to try to go back and look at that historical information and put it together. It hasn't, it's still on the to-do list, but it is on the list.
Okay. Have you touched base with Mr. Sticht to keep
I've not followed up with him yet.
where we're at on that?
I was waiting until I had more information to share.
It may be worth just saying, hey, haven't forgotten you. Not that, yeah, kind of thing. I suggest.
Certainly can do that. That's
Good. Anything else? Any other board members? I have some announcements. We have the community outreach in Center Harbor this Thursday on the 16th. Next week on the 22nd, which is a Wednesday, we will have the Sandwich Community Outreach. This is the last leg of the strategic plan journey, just as a reminder. Then our May meeting is May 12th for our regular school board meeting. And then on Tuesday, May 19th, we will have our SAU meeting, as we often do, in Ashland at the elementary school. And just another reminder, Mary already mentioned it, but we will be meeting with our auditor there. So I think it's very important that as many of us can be there as possible. With that, if there's no other business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Charlie, you were deciding to do in public for enrollment.
Oh, for the students, the
Oh, yes,
CBA
yes,
students.
thank you. That's what you're.
Thank you, Ashley. Sorry, Ed, we got one more item. It was the CBA students we discussed in the non-public section.
On the first
We
page.
need to vote. Is that on the first page?
Yeah, first
Yes.
page, yeah.
Where did I miss that?
The last motion under D.
Okay. Right, motion to approve non-resident admissions.
So moved.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, did somebody make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all very much. We are adjourned at 7:04.
Thank you.
Ashley, do you need me to send a note reference in lieu of a signature for approval of those, the bills?
No, I think there's enough board members here, but thank you.
Okay.
Okay, we have, this is the management one. This one's about the 24, 25, right?